I think there was another button that I had to press. Okay, so I'm live now. So can you see me now? Hey guys, what's up, Gerald? Another button that I had to press. Okay, so I'm live now. So can you see me now? Hey guys, in stream. I'm live. Hey guys, nerd. What's up, Gerald? There we go. Oh, there we go. Yes, yes. Nah, yes. Okay. Another button that I had to press. Yes, okay, yeah. So hey, what's up? So I can see you. Hey guys. Hey everyone. My apologies. I didn't know that YouTube has so many different things you had to do to prepare your channel for a live stream. I didn't realize it was that complicated. I'm so used to just standing in front of people and talking, and making things easy that way, communication. But we are in a technology age that can't seem to find a cure for this damn virus. So many different things you had to do to prepare your channel. Man, I'm here to talk with you guys today about the future of 2020. Hey, handsome. Oh, thank you, Julissa. There we go. What? Hey, Hebrew. What's up, man? There is an echo. Why? I don't know. From me. Man, maybe one of my speakers is on today about the future of 2020. Let me see. Hey, handsome. Oh, thank you, Julissa. There we go. What? Hey, Hebrew. What's up, man? There is an echo. Why? I don't know. From me. Man, maybe one of my speakers is on today about the future of 2020. Let me see. Hey, handsome. Oh, thank you, Julissa. There we go. What? Hey, Hebrew. What's up, man? There is an echo. Why? I don't know. Echo. Is there still an echo? Let me see what's going on. Man, maybe one of my speakers is on today about the future of 2020. Let me see. Hey, handsome. Oh, thank you, Julissa. All right, that should kill the echo. What's up, man? Why? I don't know. Echo. Okay. Is there still echo? There is an echo lag. Yep. Hey, Choice. What's up, man? Hey, so everybody's getting up in here. We're doing it big. Is there still an echo? All right, that should kill the echo. It's repeating everything. Echo. Okay. Echo. There is it's more like a replay of everything you're saying. Interesting. What's up, man? Hey, so everybody's getting up in here. We're doing it big. Is there still an echo? Thing, guys. Y'all gotta forgive me. Kill the echo. Maybe this one needs to be turned off as well. It's more like a replay on loop. Hey, maybe it's you guys. For all of the millennials and stuff going on. Let me see what's happening here. Okay, I think I have. I apologize for all of this, guys. I never stream, so I've had people for years telling me I should stream. Mute on. Mute on. Okay. All right, so does that help any? There's an echo big. Yep, hey choices. It's repeating everything. It's more like okay, yeah, you got it. Perfect. Okay. All right, I think it's the server. Nope. No mejor. Jonesy. Yo, hey, so check it, right? Let's get to business, guys. If this is good, okay, we're good. Okay, it's clear now. Perfect. All right, so listen. Acting in 2020, it seems like it's just mostly breaking through actors in the queue. Can't wait to hear what you got for us today. Oh, I got a lot for you today. I've been thinking these past couple of days. Like I said, first off, I got a lot of calls from people who are deep into this thing, and they were talking about, that it is serious, it is legit, it's not just propaganda, which, I believe there's some behind that. Um, I am praying for everyone in regards to not just my students, but anybody else who is in the entertainment industry and people who are regular 9 to 5ers, because none of us are working now. Can't wait. Don't touch anything else. Mama Joan is here. Hey, Mama Joan. Jonesy, hermano. um, we are in dark times as actors, especially those who had a lot of momentum happening with projects and things happening. We're all just figuring out what's best right now and how to go about doing what's best for our careers and our lives and our families. The word that I wanted to have first off was to be encouraged and be faithful and be hopeful, prayerful. Um, I believe that this thing eventually will be over. I think the face of the industry is going to change dramatically and drastically. But the hope and the promise is that a lot of work is going to happen from this situation, because, you know, me and Josh got a lot coming up for hey man, listen, that's what I'm saying. This time that you have down, stay home and rework your mind, renew your thinking in regards to how you're going to prepare everything you have to prepare. What I've been doing is basically I had a whole lot of things that had to be written up. I actually found that um, I was falling behind because of I was doing so much that I was missing the things that I needed to work on. And so now, as I've caught those things up, I'm preparing for what's going to happen in regards to all the new stuff that I'm about to do. The web series with Alex and Chantel. The Henry's Courage, we're still going to get that together. I mean, of course it'll be pushed, but we're still going to get that together. A New Life, and just even my horror film. We had a little traction on that before things kind of slowed down. So in this time, I would encourage and behoove all of you to just constantly be in your mind about where it is you need to go as far as learning new things and getting better. Unfortunately, my director's class was pushed as well. I was looking forward to that, sharing all that knowledge and information. But there are a lot of resources that are out. I've been posting on Facebook different resources, places that you can go for information and knowledge on videography, directing, lighting. There's been some free courses that Shane Hurlbut has put out. Things that can help you to where even if you're not a film director, or if you're not someone who's looking to put content together, knowing those things help a little bit, because then your quality and the grade of what you're creating is higher. Even if you're not the person who's behind the camera, at least you can learn to communicate better with those people. And then you'll know exactly what you're looking for if you're a producer or a writer or somebody who's putting together the project. What else? So when you get a chance, go to my Facebook page. For the last 5 days, I've been posting all of those resources. I think no, okay, you got it. Okay, all right. Me and Josh, I'm here. Hey, Farley, what's up? uh, um, yeah. So, what we have to bear in mind is what we do with our time. You know, it's that scene from Prison Song, guys. When my man said you just got to find things to do with your time. You know what I'm saying? With a guy in prison, he's locked up. Me myself, I am a hermit by nature because I'm always in front of the computer, and I'm always editing and correcting and coloring, learning that now. Even though I leave that to my colorist, I still want to know some of the basics. So it's easy for me to be indoors. I mean, throughout the days. Some of you guys, you're outside people. You know, you got to have that fresh air. Got to get that vitamin D into your melanin, into your being and your system. You know, guys, it's really rough. It's, you know, such a gamble to you know, I can hear cars just going back and forth, and I'm like, man, what is people doing? You know, that's going to usher in that martial law because people are not paying attention to staying in. And then you have to be mindful of people who have weak immune systems, or, you know, they're susceptible to being sick very easily. Like Taylor Odeker, she was talking about that in her video. She has autoimmune disease. Um, you have to be mindful of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? You can't be around people you may have it and don't even realize you have it, because that's what it seems like is going on. How do you know who's sick or not? It's not like blood coming from our eyes and our, you know, like it ain't like the zombie movies. And how many of you have seen? How many of you are fans of zombie movies? Because I'm like the biggest fan of zombie movies and horror films and disaster films. Let's see. Somebody said exactly. I'm here, King. Yeah. Hey, Pachanda, what's going on? Uh, yeah. Okay. So I want to see. Let's see. You guys type in how many of you your favorite zombie film or disaster film or film dealing with like viruses and stuff like that. Type that in, and then basically what we're going to talk about now is how we're going to have to come out of this as actors, because, you know, there's such a prejudice and a fear that's created by this virus that, you know, we make jokes about it through memes and stuff, but what's going to happen once it's over and we still have it fresh in our minds as actors? How are we going to work with each other? How are we going to be on set, on stage together, and not let that hinder our performances and stuff? You know, those are the things that I want to address today. Not just talking about what it takes to get through this process, but how are we going to overcome this? Kendra said exactly, yeah. Uh, they say it has a 2-week asymptomatic period. Wow, Hebrew, I didn't know that. It all starts with you and the move you make. What else? That's right. I agree. Listen, I'm such a proactive person, and my students, you know what I said earlier this year, like, you know, I'm gonna die working. Like, that's just my thought process. You know, I'm not really afraid of a disease. You know, I was sick earlier this year. It might have been the coronavirus. Who knows? There was a lot of us that were sick for like 3 weeks, and it was weird. It's a weird thing. I've never had anything like it before. Like I was saying earlier in the beginning of this, guys, there is something out there. One of my friends, Noemi Torres, she's in the hospital right now. She's been in for 5 days. And her daughter Destiny put it online that her mom is sick and she has the coronavirus. She tested positive for it. So that's as close as home as I want that crap to happen for me, because, you know, I know a lot of people, and it took a long time for a lot of people to believe that there is something out there, but it is. And, you know, Noemi's not a liar. Destiny's not a liar. That's not who they are. So it has hit close to me, close to home in that regards. Thank God, you know, nobody else I know, but in that regards, you know, she is sick and she is in a hospital, and I'm very concerned, you know, because she's, you know, an older woman. So anyway, back to talking about, I don't want to be running around in circles, and then I want to answer what everybody's saying at the same time. Hey, Choice, this is Alex. My favorite disaster film is Outbreak. Yeah, that's a good one, man. Outbreak. Oh man, that's a good one. Mine is is what is it? Is it 15 days later? What is it? I think it's the first 15 days later. That's mine. That was my, like, man, 12 days later. What is it? Oh my God, Kendra, I'm sorry to hear that. Wow. Wow, Kendra. Sorry for your loss. Jeez. Oh man. Okay, well, there we go, guys. Listen, stay your asses home. Stay your asses home. I got word from someone who works with the mayoral campaign and the mayoral office that said that, you know, They don't know what's going on. They don't have enough ventilators and respirators and stuff at the hospital to handle the cases. I don't know. I'm inside the house, so I was even thinking about going to the store today, but I doubt I'm gonna go. The pack 28. Thank you. 28 days later. That's the movie, man. Because that was a harsh movie. Um, yeah. So anyway, back to what I was saying about us as actors and how we're going to have to deal with this. Once they say it's over and working with each other, um, we got to be careful, man. You know, Kendra, man. We have to be careful in regards to how our minds are going to be. I remember in the '80s when the AIDS virus, HIV, and people were dying from AIDS, and actors were complaining about working with other actors. There was a lot of prejudice involved in that, and that's kind of what I want to address as one of the topics today. Um, how we're going to overcome that, because I honestly don't believe they truly know how this virus is passed. I mean, in one minute they say, wear a mask, and then so is it airborne, or is it by touching, or is it all of that? And as actors, it was really tough for me towards the end to cancel the classes because a lot of my actors are so gung ho. But I got a lot of wise and sage advice from someone that it's not just me that I had to be concerned with, but the other actors as well, because all it would take is one person. And we tend to feel like we're good, and we don't know about infecting anyone else. But I just it was a tough call because I really wanted to see my actors, and there's so much that I always want to work on. But we canceled it, and I got the official word from the studio that all classes are canceled, privates as well, everything. So I'm going to be here, guys. Like I said, to anybody that's interested, tomorrow at 1 p.m. through um, we're going to Skype and do a big Skype session. Skype does at least 50 people now. So we're going to do a big Skype session, more on the thing of just connecting with each other, not so much in regards to, um, the acting thing in particular, but just getting to see each other, because I think that that's important for the BTAW family. So it's anyone current and anyone who is alum that's hearing this. I'll put it up on Facebook as well and Instagram. The Walking Dead, Farley. Everyone was affected all along. Yeah, yeah. And actually, they revealed that it was from a space spore. They actually revealed it last week, I think. The David Kirkman, the creator of the comic, said that what caused it was a space spore, and so that's how everyone had it. It's crazy. Um, we're all going to be currently on lockdown tonight. Yeah, yeah, I believe that too, brother. I firmly believe that. Um, yeah, that's going to be the thing, man. Um, yeah, you download it. You can download it to your phone. We're gonna do that at 1 o'clock tomorrow, so that's gonna be really cool. All right, if anybody got I think I've spoken enough about the prejudice of like how we have to, have our thoughts about that. Like you should start that now, because it's like once they say okay, it's done, and we all crawl back out of our caves, and we'll all be able to resume what what I don't think it's ever going to be a normal life. That's why I put on my Facebook, like, life will never be the same. This reminds me of how it was after 9/11. I just remember like things were never the same. And I know with this thing, you know, contrary to whether we get military enforcement in or not, this will never be the same. I think a lot of people are going to need a lot of help financially, emotionally, psychologically. As actors, I know some of you are really, really in a dark place right now because acting is your life. It's in your blood. It's in your DNA. It's what you do, and not being able to scream at the top of your lungs. I think Jaleesa had said that, or cry. We're not having any release. I haven't really even dealt with this thing. Like I just been focusing, and that's why I'm doing this stream, because I'm like, yo, I just, I was in a dark place for like 2 days because I was just like, man, like I had so much momentum, You know what I'm saying? Like I was killing it. And by the way, if you were part of Friday class, that we took some video footage. I actually uploaded that last night, and I will be sending you guys links because they were like, they weren't like the Monday night class when we did those scenes. They were just like 6-second clips of people saying the favorite line from their scene, but the footage came out really nice. So I'm gonna upload that. That's gonna be something that I'm gonna plan to do tonight, and send links out to everybody. So you guys will probably see little clips of people putting stuff up. We did that. That was last Friday. The last Friday class was last Friday on the 13th. I think that was, yeah. I got to get my Skype together. Hebrew, you playing games? We're gonna have to get the strap. We're gonna have to get the strap, baby. We're gonna have to get it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you were gonna do on Pachanda's play. I know the brothers play. I know that was something that you guys have put a lot of time into, and so yeah, my heart goes out to you, Pachanda, and anybody else who was part of the plays, Larry. All of you guys, my heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry that to hear plays being canceled. They were being canceled one right after the other, man, and I'm just like, it's like, man, and so this thing couldn't be worse for actors, because it's like all you can pretty much do is tape yourself and do little skits and stuff. You can't really interact with each other unless you're part of a family unit or you're a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship type of thing. So I don't know, man. I don't know. This is, oh man, I'm just praying for everybody. How is James doing? That's a good question. Get the strap here, Hebrew. Hi, hey, Dazelle, welcome in. You missed what we said about tomorrow. BTAW, we're doing a 50-person chat on Skype, so make sure you have your Skype together at 1 p.m. We're going to be doing that so we can see everybody's faces. I don't care if y'all looking raggedy, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if you just woke up. I don't care if you just drank a fifth. We all going to see each other, and and just talk, and have a good time. And one of the things I want you guys all to think about is, what was one of your favorite moments in class? Like one of your favorite moments. Yeah, let's do that. Your favorite moment in class, your favorite scene in class, and one of your favorite quotes that I say. Okay, so that way you have some ammunition for tomorrow when we do the Skype at 1. That's going to be funny. So many people are not taking it seriously when no one has it realized. When was the last time government started to close down actual cities? Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Man, yeah, condolences again, Kendra. Okay, so let's lift things up for everybody that's in here, that's chatting and talking. It's 15 people. That's great. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's good to see you guys writing. It's good to know that you're well, and you're alive, and that you're diligent enough to stay home if you are home. So what question do you have about acting? I mean, you got me. I'm wide open. What question do you have about acting? One of the things I'm always telling the BTAW actors is that acting is very simple. I think people overcomplicate it. I think people get into a space where they feel like, I know more than you because I read this book or I studied with this coach. Acting is a very simple thing. 5-year-old kids, 4-year-olds, anybody under 5 to me are better actors than most adults because they're not conditioned or programmed. You know what I mean? So what is the questions that you have about acting, about the approach to acting, things that maybe you can do, obviously, while you're at home, which would be watch movies, Netflix streaming. Streaming is about to boom. That's why creating content is important. But let's get to some of that, all right? My favorite quote that you say is keep going. Yeah, amen. No doubt. No doubt. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing this. We got to keep going. Like, I got stuff to do. Like, I want this thing to be over. I'm kind of pissed off. If it was a physical thing, I'd beat the hell out of it right now because I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? Choice, we out here. Hey, Danny, hey. Yeah, what's up? So Danny, you missed what we had said. Tomorrow, 1 p.m., all the BTAW actors are going to be Skyping. I'll be sending that out to you guys. It'll be a Skype link that I'll be sending to everybody. BTAW only. Sorry, anybody else that's not BTAW. We have to see each other. It's only 50 people. So I think we will probably blast that out completely and blow out the number, because there's so many of us that haven't gotten to see each other. And then there's 2 classes. You know, there's like about 15 people on the Friday class, and there's, you know, the normal 25 on the Monday class. So it's a lot of people. And then also some of the alums. So if you can get the link and get in, we'd love to see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. It's going to be a lot easier than this thing that I went through today. But hey, now I know how to do it. So, you know, I'll probably be streaming a little bit more now, because, you know, I'm an old school guy. Yeah, okay. Favorite quote: the true essence of an actor is to know self, being comfortable with and exposing self. Ooh, Hebrew. Ooh, it's like, yeah, yo, that's chapter 1, baby. Like, that's straight out my book. Wow, you had to impress everybody with that one. You did bring the strap on that one. Remember why you started. Yes, Dizelle, absolutely. Remember why you started. Has so many gems. Choice be having those bars. Hebrew, you straight East Coast, man. You got your Timbs on. I need to see you tomorrow. Hey, so look, don't be surprised how y'all see me tomorrow when I Skype y'all, because, you know, that's the acting part that I love about myself. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll straighten you out with my outfit. What's number one thing that we need to know as actors? Good question. You already know. Yeah, good question. The number one thing to know about acting is relaxation. I've been pushing that more lately now in my instruction than anything, and I see a lack of that in today's climate as far as acting coaches. And listen, I'm not saying anything new, but what I'm saying is more proposed towards the actor. It's more towards empowering the actor. Because you can have a curriculum where people say, okay, relax, breathe, you know, focus. Sometimes people need 4 or 5 different descriptive ways of understanding it, or analogies or definitions, because what may be relaxation to me may be different in relaxation to you. So my understanding of relaxation is no pressure, because the opposite of pressure, which is too or grinding, or pressure, which is a buildup of unsurmountable force, which is pressure, right? A building of an unsurmountable force. The opposite of that is nothing. So you can tie that into when people say, okay, well, what do I do? Okay, well, you already know your basics. You know you hit your mark. You know you find your light. You know you look at the person. You know you do all these things, but you have to do nothing. Nothingness is the highest form of relaxation. And so it's kind of like people say, they talk about nirvana. Nirvana is the highest state of nothingness. It's like not thinking. Because if you're thinking, like right now, I'm thinking of what I need to say. So am I responding, or am I acting out of a presupposition, or am I acting out of a computer bank of responses like Siri? No, I'm feeling what I want to say because I'm inspiring you, but at the same time, I'm coming from a place of knowledge that is ingrained in me and believed. So that way now, because I believe that knowledge, when I spit it or when I speak it out, I'm speaking it out of a place of confidence. And so that's how relaxation works. Relaxation comes from not thinking so much. You think to learn the lines. You think to remember to hit your mark. You think for continuity. Those are things that you think about. But the act of acting, or the action of acting, should be coming from a relaxed state. It shouldn't be a thing. And that comes from confidence as well. Confidence is one of those things that is interjected into relaxation. So a lot of times I have to tell myself, if I feel myself building up that pressure, Relax. And it's a practice. It's an adaptation and an adoption of a new mind. Like, because we live in a society. Well, how can you relax with what's going on right now? Like, you know what I'm saying? So if we were still allowed to be out there doing what we would be doing as far as acting and working and it would probably be worse, because we'd have so much stress on us. Does this person have it? Like, there are no visible signs to see that someone has this virus. It's not like the horror films. It's not like the pandemic films where you can see somebody go, oh, and and they go, I'm not affected. And it's like, they whack that person or they run. We can't see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the tests nowadays, they're not even giving people the test anymore, from what I was told. Laughing out loud. I will be there tomorrow. It'll be good to see you, Dizelle. Quote, you are good enough. That's my morning affirmation. Amen. No doubt. You are enough. Mantra daily. Yes. Yes, ladies. That's, it seems, because, when it comes to acting, and going back to what he was saying about, you know, what's the number one thing that we need to know as actors? Relax. That's the number one thing. Relax. Practice relaxation. So true. I did a series of self-tapes and said that they are going to get what I give them. Damn right. I relaxed and just went with it. So it wasn't if I was good enough, but the look they wanted. Booked it. You damn right. Go ahead, mama. Yes. Talking to a person who just got through from playing Michelle Obama. Congratulations to you, Dizelle. All right. Come on, guys. More questions. More questions. Let's interact here. All right. Let's keep going. Booked it. Okay. Danny, good to see you still doing stuff, man. Videos and stuff, man. You guys, some of you guys have great followings. You need to keep your videos and your interaction up. Kendra, the little sexy videos you do is always very, very welcomed. Okay, congrats. Yes, that's that BTAW love. Yes. Jaleesa, I need to see more videos coming from you. You know what I'm saying? More of the awkward black girl or the liberal black woman. The liberal black Issa Rae stuff coming. What's up with that? Okay, Farley, thank you for posting some of your audition stuff, man. It looks really, really good. It's always good to see you guys being proactive. All right, who else? Okay. I'm looking to see more on the Spider-Man thing, my man. I got to see more of that. What's going on with that. Mr. Jackson, loved your new headshots, by the way. Very good. I'm impressed. Even though I didn't shoot them, I'm impressed. All right, it's all quiet on the front. Okay, guys, so let's see. We talked about how we're going to deal with this thing once it's over. No prejudice and keeping, a strong mind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, James Black, what's up? James, okay, what do you think the market and pilot season will look like after this? Very good question, Dizelle. I think pilot season is officially done. I don't think. I think when we had the writer strike years back, about almost 10 years ago, I think it was. There was no work for a hot minute. Like a lot of people had rushed to get their projects done. And whatever was done was done. Whatever wasn't done got killed. If I remember distinctly, there was a couple of major projects that never got back off the ground. Most of these studios are going to claim the insurance on the loss of these films and these projects. But with pilot season, because a lot of the people who were cast, their minds are not going to be the same. So it's like what you were working on before you left to go into quarantine. I think after quarantine, a lot of people are not going to be ready mentally. Thus, the rust thing, they, actors say I'm rusty, or, they may lose somebody during this time, or they just may not be right mentally. I think a lot of those pilots that were in effect will never come back. I don't think they're going to come back. I think there'll be a lot of room for content that's not studio backed, because we're going to go through a lot of content, and however much time we have on this quarantine thing, like a lot of content, like people are watching content. I think they said it went up 60% in viewership. That's huge. um I haven't really, like I watched a couple of documentaries, and I watched one Netflix movie. um I got a whole bunch of stuff I want to watch too, but I always got so much on my computer that I'm doing, so I never really get time to watch something unless it's a must. But to answer your question, I don't think they're. I think this will even kick into what goes on for next year's pilot season. So my objective, if what you're asking, is to right away get my actors to work right away. Pick up on, see what I'm doing and what I've been doing, and just create. The industry, contrary to what people say, like I read Deadline every day. It's going to take a while. Even if this quarantine was over tomorrow, it's still going to take a couple of months to almost a year for the industry to get back on their feet. Creating my own content is hard without a team. My phone is trash. Oh, I'm sorry, Jaleesa. Jaleesa, we can work together. There you go, Dizelle. See, Danny, what are the best ways to help you get into the life of your character? Good question, Danny. Understanding human behavior is everything. Some of us, we're more observant than others. Like we were observant as kids. There are three things that it takes to me to be a great actor: observation, sacrificing, which basically means being willing to do whatever it takes, and I'm not going to say. I would say empathy. The emphatic person, being able to understand without even understanding. Like sometimes, if you judge a role, there are things that you would understand if you didn't judge it. Whereas if you judge it, you're not going to understand it, because those things are integral to the character. So those three things, if you say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna do whatever it takes, all right. Well, you got to know yourself, okay. Because maybe that character is wearing something you would never wear, or would do something you would never do. And if you're skeptical about that and you do that, you got to know, am I doing it 100% or am I half-assing it? I'm not saying to the point of like, if your character is a drug addict, you have to do drugs. That's not what I'm saying. Like, if your character is a heroin addict and they throw up, and you have to have fake vomit in your mouth, well, that's very convincing, and that's the job of an actor. You don't have to throw up for real to be a heroin addict in a scene. That's not the objective. Our job is to help pass the lie. It's because it's all a lie. None of it is real. So our job is to be convincing, but we have to have that empathy to understand the character. We have to be well versed in human behavior. There are little ticks and little things that take you to the next level, Danny, that to me a lot of people overlook because they're thinking about themselves, or they're thinking about, I'm doing a good job. There's a middle that we have to be as actors. You have nepotism and narcissism, and in the middle is us. And so we can go one way or the other. And to me, it's like, that's why I always say, keep your north. Your north is, why am I doing this? Somebody mentioned that as one of my quotes. When you realize why you're doing it, which is to entertain, which is to make people relate, that's all part of empathy. Because the empathetic person can relate, can feel, and wants to make sure that everybody else feels. So to me, that's one of the things that I think needs to be focused on. The life of the character is basically, that's their life. You can never live their life. You know what I mean? But you can be empathetic about it. I'm so down. Oh, don't be down, Jaleesa. We that's why we're doing this. I'll create until I die. You damn right, Danny. Underground. Wow, that means so that you want to see more about. Yes, I do. I want to see more of it, man. Keep going. Like, I want to see you guys increase your budget, to whatever you can to increase the the energy of what you're doing. You know, like I said, listen, guys, I put all those links on my Facebook page. You know, I know a lot of you guys are mostly Instagram people, but I put all those links on my Facebook page so that way you guys have something to do during this quarantine and this downtime. There's so much information on there. You know, if you can't do YouTube because you get distracted, well, go to my Facebook page and click one of those links. The Moviola page is all free. Can you imagine? This is stuff that would be $300 or $400 just to watch or to view. It's free. And you can always play something in the background while you're doing something else and listen. You know, find the best way that you learn. I learn by listening. You know, I learn from seeing as well, but listening is the best way for me. Okay, let's see what else. Congrats, boo. Oh, Janessa. Hey, Janessa. Danny saying, will you be in season 3 of All American? No. They cut my scene on season 2. They used me for all the press stuff. I was in the TV Guide, People Magazine. How does that happen? So that's why I'm so proactive about, like, just keep going. You can become down if you lean and waited on the industry for everything, because you know they have their little nepotism, they have their little circle of people. They continuously, you see the same people and the same stuff. You know, you gotta punch a hole in the wall, and sometimes I think that's just by you just doing your work and don't expect anything back. Because I'll be honest, when I did Black Lightning, I assumed that Black Lightning Tobias' Revenge, I assumed that, yo man, everybody's going to like jump on this. James and I did a tremendous job. All the cast and crew, we did our work. I thought I was going to have meetings. I thought James and I was going to be in there talking about, budgets, and it didn't happen. So that was the lesson for me to learn. Don't expect nothing. I just do it because I enjoy it now. We just did Jason Ivey. He just did. He produced and starred in and directed and co-wrote Chronicles of a Douchebag. Jaleesa is one of the lead actors in there. As well as some of the other girls. Kendra's in it. A lot of the breaking through actors is in it. And it's amazing. The footage looks phenomenal. It doesn't look like we shot it on a low budget. Like, Jason came up by having me as the DP and having breaking through actors in there as his cast and crew. Like, it was just like insane. Like, the sound is amazing. Everything's amazing. And I'm supposed to actually see some footage today. So, I might be giving you ladies a call to let you know what's going down. So don't be down, Jaleesa. We got stuff like, once we just stay alive. Once we get through this thing, queen of the night, you are, sweetheart. No doubt. Thank you, Janessa. Thank you. I'm sorry. Is it worth submitting for a role that you don't 100% physically look like, but the role itself is something you damn right. Yes, Chris. Yes. Because a lot of times directors, like me being a director myself, casting directors, producers, you come in and you're so amazing that we go, you know what? He wasn't the best physically, but man, he was dope. He was awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe we can get him a trainer, or maybe we can help him gain weight, if depending on what the role is. I would never let that stop you. You know what I'm saying? Because body type is, a lot of times nowadays is very flexible. Unless they explicitly say must be. Must be is very important on breakdowns. Like, a lot of times actors will send themselves in saying, oh, they ask for, a Latin, but, hell, I'm black, let me send it in, or vice versa. No, when they say must be, casting directors hate when you override that, because they're explicit for that. Their job is to bring in the must be's. The producers or someone asked explicitly for that. It's okay for producers to come back and say, we decided last night that we're going to do this. They will open the role back up, and then they will ask for that if they say all ethnicities or whatever. But when you see must be, that's dangerous. I tend to be like, yeah, don't submit for that. You know what I'm saying? But if it's open, or if it's a it doesn't hurt, but a lot of times you're going to be the butt of the joke. So, but physically, that's a little, unless it says must be, Chris. Okay, good question. That is hard news. Yeah, it is. You are amazing on set to bring those things out. Well, you got to have great actors to be able to do it. I mean, you can't get blood from a stone. So, you know what I'm saying? Denzel, when I first saw you come into the class, I was like, yo, she's dope. And then we had, other directors that would come privately and tell me like, yo, she's dope. So that's why I liberated you. I mean, you just need class just to, stretch yourself if you want to do something that, kind of disturbs you or bothers you. You have a comfortable place in BTAW to come and do that always, Uh, I'm right at the beginning of the millennial era. I don't stream a lot. What are acceptable contextual ideas to begin streaming? I will not lie. I have no true filter nor feel. So what say? That's what's fun. So, it's never about what you do. It's about the audience for what you're giving to. So, this is my first, like I normally do interviews. I don't really stream, Janessa. So, you find it, the personality is everything. Like the reason people know that I love acting and I love actors and I love the craft and I love the business. And that's why I'm actually doing this. Because it's nothing for me to sleep through my days. Really. I love dreaming, watching movies, you know what I'm saying? Finding the topic of what you want to talk about, because people will gravitate to that no filter. That's a good thing. So sure, find what you want to talk about and then find the audience, because the audience will be connected to what you want to talk about. There's always a space for somebody who ain't got no damn filter, right? Okay. I'm catching up with some of these. I'm so down to work. Yes, I'm telling you. Wait till you see yourself in Chronicles of a douchebag, Jaleesa. Jaleesa, my texts aren't working. I'm down to work with y'all. Use me. Kendra, you know, Brandon and I were talking about you the other day. We can't wait to shoot that thing, man. It'll probably be one of the first things after the quarantine. He's so excited about it, and he's so excited to work with you. So, I know he wanted to still try to do that thing, and I was just like, yeah, nah, man. She got family and kids, and no. So it's not gonna work. But right after this quarantine is over, we're up to do it. We're gonna knock it out. Chase is coming in for sound. We're gonna make it happen. It's gonna look amazing. Understanding our brands. What do you think about content that shows that it isn't typical? I'm having a hard time with it. Yeah, Denzel, we talked about that before. I think sometimes it takes time to figure that out. I don't think you should rush it. I don't think you should be so hard on yourself about whether I think lately I've been seeing you post, and it's been really interesting and fun. Like, I think for a long time I was at 800 followers. I don't even get caught up in followers anymore. I don't get caught up in any of that stuff because everybody's doing stuff. I think you should just keep doing your work, and whatever it is you do great. And, people will gravitate to it. I firmly believe the marketing aspect is something that we all lack at. You have to market yourself more than anything nowadays. You have to let people know about what you got going on, whether they're interested or not. I mean, you can't force them to be. You know what I mean? I have a friend. He's a model. He'll post something where it's very esoteric and very spiritual and uplifting. He'll get 100 likes on his Instagram. He posts a shirtless photo or one of him out of the shower. He got like 7,000 likes. I mean, you got to understand the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't take it personal. Janessa just posted something and somebody came at her sideways and she went in on him. I was like, good for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let nobody challenge you about what you're doing. Then a lot of times people are uncomfortable with themselves and you make them feel a certain way. So they want to attack you, and it's not cool. So stand up for yourself more than anything. But figuring out, what your brand is, man, I think that's a process for some people. For some people, it's really simple. For some people, it's a process. Like for me, like I do so many different things. If I focused on just being a headshot photographer, I'd be very successful at it. But that's not the only thing I do, and I'm very selective nowadays. So I don't get caught up in that. I just be like, I shoot who I want to shoot now. It's not a business in the sense of like how I was. Okay, yeah, I got this. Some people are, nah, I'm not shooting. You know, I mean, that's just the way it is. Um, yep. We all look great in that. Yep, you do. You do. Wait, I'm telling you, the footage is phenomenal. It's insane. Um, what does one start in trying to familiarize themselves with the industry? Good question, Cole. Deadline. Um, all the trades, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, ComingSoon.net. You need to stay up on the trades. Link them, bookmark them every morning. Check them at the end of the night. Know what's going on so that way you can know who's doing what. And then there's a lot of good resources on Facebook. Listen, I know a lot of you guys are on Instagram now. You're not even on Facebook no more, but people are getting cast on Facebook. They are finding out projects on Facebook. There's a lot of castings that I put on the BTAW website, on Facebook, the group. A lot of you guys are sleeping on Facebook. Facebook is still very viable. Twitter, I mean, I get it, but Twitter is more for like the press. They go to your Twitter page and see what you say. Sometimes they'll go to your Instagram. They will go to your Facebook, but Facebook is more for like the networking. It really is. Instagram is more for vanity. So Cole, definitely Deadline. Like Deadline is in my queue. It's every morning I check Deadline to see what's going on. I knew more about the coronavirus on Deadline than I knew on CNN. Like because they had to have concrete information to tell the industry what to do and how to respond. So Deadline, for people of color, Shadow and Act, I go there all the time. I've been a avid a reader of Shadow and Act for many, 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 many years. They featured me several times. There's new people over there, so they don't really, they're a little different on how they do stuff. But resource-wise, definitely stay up on Deadline and Variety, Hollywood Reporter. That stuff used to come in a magazine when I first started as an actor. You had to pay for it, top dollar. Now it's free. So yeah, and groups, Facebook groups. There's people who are a part of acting Facebook groups, in industry Facebook groups. I'm a part of a lot of groups, and I pay attention to what people post and what they're talking about. And so much power to those who run good groups. But yeah, and build your community. I don't know if you're in an acting class or not, but my actors are very, very communicable and they're very proactive with each other. So yeah. Jaleesa, chin up, Queen. I promise you, the grace of God, we will come. Amen. We will. How important is source material for the character that you are portraying? Yeah, Alex, it's very important. I coached an actor, one of my top actors out there working, and he had a biography, a biopic that he was working on. It was a real character that existed. I got in his ass about making sure he contacted the family, finding out if there's any more information other than what the directors give you. YouTube, Google, all the information he could. He went, he looked up, he reached out to the family. Did he have a limp? Did he smoke a pipe? Did he cross his legs? Did he have a floating eye? You know what I'm saying? Did he have a chin cleft? What was going on physically? What type of person was he like? Because the way they gave the description of him was kind of it was vague, but there's not people like that anymore. So he had to do a lot of research, and I got in his ass about it because sometimes actors just want to get the lines. They got the lines, they can impress the director and the crew, and I'm like, nah. The real impression is when you look at someone like Gary Oldman and him winning the Oscar for portraying an icon, somebody who in Britain was one of the most important people. And he had him down to a T, Winston Churchill. And so when you look at that, it's like, okay, or you look at Cate Blanchett, and she's very good at submerging herself. But you have to know a lot about that person, as much as you possibly can know. I mean, there's a point where it becomes a little bit, to me, chameleon-like. What we're doing with Henry's Courage, we have a historian, and those people actually existed, and there is a lot of information on them. And so, I tend to cast the type to the best of my ability, and also make sure that people have all the information that's necessary. We had a top-notch historian, the same historian who did the work for Miracle at St. Anna, Spike Lee's film. We hired him. He came on board, paid him his rate, and he helped us with the script tremendously for the realization of, we had to make sure this thing was authentic. So I think it's very important. I will always be that type, especially with biopics, because I love biopics. I hate when they cast against type. I hate seeing that. It's like, all right, this person is was a dark-skinned person. You should hire a dark-skinned person, because to me, being dark-skinned has a battle of its own. If this person was light-skinned, being light-skinned has a battle of its own. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's part of what would make that person who they are. If you do enough research, you will see that colorism is a serious thing in the black community, and it does affect us. So yeah, I think it's very important to know everything. If you can, if they were missing a toe, if they were right leg dominant, if they were left-handed, if they had a twitchy eye. I mean, I think you should know all those things. Okay, miss you guys. Yeah, we miss you too, man. I love you, Nessa. Hey, yep, I want to play with y'all again. That sounds great in a lot of ways. But yeah, you're always welcome to come home, Giselle. For real, I post and content in my second. Yeah, Kendra, you ain't no joke. But we need that, especially now. There's a lot of lonely guys that's going. Yeah, hey, you know what, Kendra? Your Facebook and your Instagram are about to increase tremendously. So just keep showing love. I want to work with you guys soon. Hey, whatever happened to that skit you were looking to do, man? It sounded so funny to me. Did you ever finish it? Did you shoot it? The market is growing. New Mexico, Disney, and more for your information. Yeah, I've been hearing that because we had so much runaway production that what was happening right before the coronavirus hit was production was increasing. I don't think that's going to happen after this thing is over, because people are going to listen. 9/11 did that for a while. People were afraid to travel for a long while. Everybody was nervous about everything. It took a long time to get reacclimated back to the basic freedoms that we had. And I think before this thing is over, man, there's going to be a lot of paranoid people that had PSTD because of it. Yeah. Shadow and Act. Yes, Shadow and Act. It is a website. Let me see if I can find the link to it that I go to every day to see what's going on with black people. Because sometimes Deadline will talk about black people, but not in that extent. So Shadow and Act. Yep. All right. ShadowandAct.com. Okay. All right. Boom. Okay. Let's work, Alex. I'd love to work with you guys in the near future. Absolutely. Yeah, we need to get you out here, Alex, because that's what's going to really make it, have you visit, you and the missus. We got to figure that out. We ain't thinking about it right now. Okay, guys, so we've been streaming for an hour. We made it an hour. I don't know what everybody else got going on, but they should be on here with us, catching up. Bo. Hey, Bo Emerson, nice to have you. Is it easier to get work on a streaming service like Netflix or Hulu, or is it easier to book a pilot for a network? Ooh, Alex, you be asking them hard questions. I would say it's easier to get on a streaming service. This past year, all of my actors that were booking more like Netflix and stuff. I mean, granted, television, guest stars, co-stars, but like the series regular stuff was like Netflix and Amazon. They were booking stuff like that. Production companies are getting better deals from streaming services than with network television shows. I think with network, it's easier. Listen, I've been seeing a lot of like people who I've never seen on anything getting like series regulars on networks So I don't know what that's about. Like every time I see a Deadline posting, I'll check and see what's going on with the background of that. And I was like, that's kind of odd. Like, I mean, it was just really weird. I don't know what's going on with network streaming services. You know, they tend to go for great, strong actors. Um, you know, I mean, what is Tyler Perry? Is he streaming or is he network? You know what I mean? I got a lot of actors that were working with him. Or would he be considered cable? Does that still stand? So that's a good question, Alex. I mean, I think whatever the opportunity is, like you should make best of it. But I firmly believe you got to get your press going. Like it's important to market yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's highly important to do that. Um, I know everyone sees me in serious roles, but I love doing comedy as well. I am down to work. Yeah, I mean, Dazelle, your comedy is bananas. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finding something that I'm doing to make that happen. I don't have anything yet, but just know that it's a matter of time. Uh, Maybe a simple question, but what would you say is the appropriate amount of headshot copies of your resume to keep? 10, 10. Just in case you're at an event or something. Uh, you know, five minimum, but 10 maybe, depending on how many characters you have in each headshot, 3 of each or 2 of each character, but 10 at the most, 5 minimum. I wouldn't do less than 5. um, so that way you can always just at least pull off the backing. Like a lot of actors print the backing on the back of the photo. You shouldn't do that. You're wasting photos because your resume is changing and growing constantly. Um, 2 staples at the top, 1 staple at the bottom. And make sure your name is on your photo. Like a lot of times people make headshots with no name on the photo. If your paper gets disconnected from it, the casting director has no idea who you are. Um, Good question though, Chris. It wasn't simple. It was a good question. But yeah, people don't. A lot of people, because we're in a digital age, don't even keep printed up copies of their resume or their headshots, man. And people be like, you be somewhere and be like, they ask, do you have a headshot? You know, you gotta remember a lot of the casting directors and the producers and people are still an older generation. So they'll ask you that, do you have a headshot? And you be like, well, if you give me your email, I'll send it to you. They're gonna look at you like, oh, you get my email, you know. Or even if they do, sometimes that'll go to bulk mail. So here it is, you sent them an email because maybe their email's acting up, and you sent them your headshot and your resume, and they didn't get it. That would suck. Um, I was supposed to shoot it with Alex yesterday, but I had to push it back because I can't afford it right now since I'm not working right now. Oh, I'm sorry, Gerald. Yeah, I mean, shit, man. You know, Tyler is both. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yep, Tyler's definitely both. Yep, both. What is the best way to get press started? Hey, good question. I'm glad you mentioned that because I've been pushing this more lately. Since it's hard for us to get good publicists, this is something I used to do when I was in the music world. I created my own publicist. Like I had a PR person. His name was Jonathan. God, what was my character's last name? Jonathan. I can't remember his last name, but he was. I created an email with a fake name, and I did all my correspondence as my publicist of my company or representing me through my my other ulterior my alter ego. And I would do my own press because you can do your own press. Like say for instance, you get a good gig where you got a name of somebody really big and you're seeing, you can do your own press release. You know, it's like $250 or something like that. You know, or you can, if you have the time and the energy, you can really do your own press. Hit people up and set up interviews. A lot of interviews are written interviews, so you don't have to worry about them hearing your voice and then saying, "Oh, you're the same person." Um, but a lot of my own press is something that I'll do. Your own press in your own, you know, hometown. A lot of actors overlook that, especially when they go home. You book something big, you go home, you hit up the newspaper, hit up the art entertainment magazines, hit up the television stations. They'd be happy to interview somebody from Hollywood that is on a network television show, or is going to be in a movie with a name actor. So I don't know. I think that answers that. The best way to get your press started, yeah, create an alter ego, create another entity, and create an email and have them do all the correspondence through that email, and hit people up and say, would you be willing to interview my client? I did that for a while. I even did that when I first started. My production company. All of my press, you could see a lot of it was from Jonathan, my alter ego. uh, Gerald Jackson, I think you have me confused with another Alex, but I would love to work with you. Yeah, keep a hard copy of that headshot. Yep, Janessa, I lost the gig not having one on me. Ugh, excellent advice. Got some in my glove compartment along with my business cards. Good for you, G. Hey, Choice, I saw you on the show How I Met Your Mother. Have you ever considered being a series regular on TV? I would love to. Network and it's kind of like how I have a love-hate relationship with agents. I've only had 2 agents in my whole life. They were boutique agents and they were horrible. I got more work on my own than being with them. I think where I'm at now, the only, not sounding brash or arrogant, but the only agent that could really help me would have to be one of the majors. And primarily because, I'm not really an auditioning actor. I don't care to audition. I mean, I'll go out. It helps for me to go out because then I know the climate and I'm able to coach my actors better. But I don't care for the auditioning process at all. I've said that in many interviews. So I have a love-hate relationship with agents and as well as a network because, especially with what I just went through with All American, it was a whole day of shooting, and for them to just cut it, it was just like, it took me a day to overcome that. I mean, I'm still human. I'm put together, but I'm still human. So there's moments where I can shatter, fall apart. And that was something where I said, man, I went in and I booked it and I auditioned and took the time out and got it and everything. And, and to have the work not be seen, I mean, yeah, you get paid, but what's really more important for an actor is that, like I said, that nepotism and that narcissism where we want to be recognized for our work. And, to not have, I mean, I have the scene. I'm probably going to put it up online now because, the quarantine is something to show everybody. And I put it on the Breaking Through reel that came out earlier this year. But the whole scene, I haven't put it up. I'm going to put that up and let everybody see it who didn't get the chance to see it because it was just like, it was like up to the minute where they were like, yeah, your scene's not going to be seen. It was like, what? And so, I mean, listen, if I could be like, I had a great time on How I Met Your Mother. I probably had more people recognize me from How I Met Your Mother than anything that I've done throughout the years. People say, man, I just saw you. I'm watching you right now. And it was, it was a co-star. It was a small part that I still get like maybe a $2 residual check for, maybe sometimes $20. It's crazy. But I would love to do comedy. I like comedy a lot. I like it as much as I like drama, but I just enjoy the dramatic element more. But yeah, I'd be a serious regular on a good show. It had to be a good show too. It couldn't be a show that would want to, emasculate me or demean me as a black male actor. I'm not doing that crazy stuff. So no. Um, how difficult is the transition from modeling to acting? Good question, Cole. Really, it's not. A lot of the actors you see now were models. They modeled at some point in time in their career. You just have to find, and actually you have an edge. You have an edge because if you have a good look, like I think a lot of actors get in trouble when they say, I don't want to be known for my look. I want to be known for my craft. Well, nobody really cares about your craft until they know who you are. And so to get in the door, if you can use your look to get in the door, if people are going to pay more attention to you, because I always say agents and managers are like dogs, like every car that comes by, they're looking at it and they're chasing it. You have to be the most expensive car that comes up, whether you're expensive because your engine is good or the body of your car is good. And so if you're able to do that, which is bring attention to yourself, then the transition wouldn't be hard because there's a lot of people. Charlize Theron was a model, and she was found in a bank. Her manager saw her. He's like, "You're stunning. Do you have representation?" And she was like, "No." And he's like, "I'd love to rep you, make you an actor." Rest is history. Angelina Jolie model. Shamar Moore was a model. There's a lot of people who are models, and Channing Tatum. He was a model. Hell, he was an exotic dancer. He did a lot of things. And that Mountain Dew commercial that he did, he got that through being a model. And from there, it just took off. So, yeah. And remember, Mark Wahlberg was Marky Mark. He started out as a rapper, became a Calvin Klein model, and then became a big known actor who's producing, directing, doing whatever the hell he wants now. What if you don't have much going on at the moment? How do you keep momentum going? What if you haven't done those things? Talk about what it takes to do those things. That's what I'm learning. So once this quarantine is over, because I was having a conversation with a good publicist, and they were saying, well, we can't really talk about the project, but we could talk about you and what you're doing with the project and garner more interest that way. People love things and people that are interesting. We're not interesting normally, so you have to make yourself interesting. It's kind of like when people talk about shooting a film. Oh, we shot this film in one day. It's a feature film. We shot it in one day. We shot it on the iPhone. We shot it in one location, and my grandmother was the one that funded it. Whatever's, find something that's interesting. Even if you're not interesting, find something that's interesting. And then make it seem like people are missing out on something if they don't know about what you got going on. Make sure there's a way that people can follow you. Always make sure you have everything listed, all the things that need to connect people to you, to follow you. Make sure you have that stuff, because that helps, because then they can keep up with your emails, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. That's why I was telling you guys, all of it is still relevant. You know what I mean? Above question about press. Okay, yeah, I think I answered that one. I've heard you tell actors they thrive more in film versus television, or vice versa. What's the difference in acting between? There is no difference. Treat all acting the same. Stage, theater, and film. Stage, television, and film are all the same in my mind. There are differences, like you have to be able to project in theater. Television, a lot of times there's less takes because they move quick in television. Like, God forbid you work for Tyler Perry, it's a wrap. But television, sometimes you have to find out the format of the show and what's the pacing of the show, the rhythm of the show, for your audition and when you book it, so that way you can keep up with everybody else, because the series regulars or the people who are recurring been doing it for months and months and months on end. Here you coming in, you only got one day to shoot, or 2 days, or a week. You got to know the pacing. You have to know how to keep up with it. And so that's why a lot of times in television, the auditions, the casting directors want you to know the dialogue verbatim. They're adamant that you must say what's written, because the writers are a little bit more protected in television than in film. Film's a little bit more flexible, unless you get a very anal and very difficult director who wants you to say the lines as if because he wrote it, or if it's a higher budget film where the writer is part of the WGA and they're there on set and you can't say anything unless they make the change for you to say it. There isn't much difference. Continuity is still the same. Obviously, on theater, in theater, you can get away with continuity errors and issues, but television and film, you still have to deal with continuity. You know, I think the difference with television is it's a little bit more relaxed, depending on who you shoot with. Whereas film, if it's independent, you're gonna work. It moved from 8 to 10 to 12 hours. Now people do 12-hour shooting schedules, which when I started, it was 8 hours. Now it's 12 hours for $100 a day if you're on a SAG ultra low budget film. And that's why I shoot the way I shoot as a DP. I'm like, yo, let's get out in 10 hours. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we're going to work hard, like, I'd rather work hard faster than longer. You know what I mean? So no, there's not much difference. And the only reason why I say that some people will be better for one medium than others is because of how the market works. Looks play a very big important part, and the industry is constantly changing. So you can come in and have a great television look, which means you can get cast right then and there. Some people have more of a filmic or film look. Nowadays, it doesn't matter at all. But some actors are more prone to getting cast in television faster than film. Is it hard for an actor who played a superhero to transition into doing something else? For example, do you think Robert Downey Jr. would get more work playing anything else other than Iron Man? That's a good question, man. Listen, I think he made a grave mistake with that Dr. Dolittle. That was something he shouldn't have did. I don't know why he did it. I don't know if he was being told by his people to do it. I think Chris Evans will have an easier time than everybody because, he already went on to 21 Knives, and that was welcomed well, almost Oscar, contention. I don't know. I mean, I think it's the audience. Sometimes you hear people say, like, they were talking about Tom Holland. He's in this other movie with my man that plays Doctor Strange, and people were saying, "Oh, it's Doctor Strange and Spider-Man playing this character, playing that character." I was like, "Wow." So can it hurt you? I think it can. I think it can hurt you if you play the character too long. But I don't think people care who are playing the characters because they're making so much money and they have a constant source of work. So, if I know for the next 10 years I'm gonna get a nice paycheck, a serious paycheck, and I'm gonna constantly, be in the face of the public. I mean, are they going to see me as Doctor Strange or as Spider-Man? More than likely, yeah. Is it going to hurt? Well, I think that depends solely on the roles that I'm playing. It would have been smarter for Robert Downey Jr. to play something with prosthetics. He's that brilliant. He's Iron Man until there's a new Iron Man. Tom Holland is Spider-Man until there's a new Spider-Man. Christian Bale is not known as Batman anymore because we've had other Batmans. Right? You see my point in that? It's like, I think it would take time. It would take time for people to, my man that played Harry Potter, I feel for him. He ain't had a major hit since Harry Potter. It's kind of like Alanis Morissette. She did Jagged Little Pill. I mean, hell, what else can you come with? What did Michael Jackson do after Thriller? He did so many other albums. It never got to that level of Thriller. So I think what they need to do is do more independent films, like pimp yourself out to, a $5 million film, play something really gritty, something really, really opposite what you've been playing. Maybe that's it. It's a good question, Alex. Just see Mark Wahlberg rapper, Playgirl model. Yep. yeah. I forgot about that. Calvin Klein model actor. Woohoo. Yeah. Yes, we can also use this quarantine to make sure all of your info. Yep. Do that, guys. Make sure you get all your info up. You know what I'm saying? Great idea, Bo. Yes. This is the best thing I've watched since the quarantine started. Woo. Thanks, Choice. Hey, tomorrow gonna be lit. Because I think Danny and Janessa said they're gonna be doing some crazy stuff on Skype. So we're gonna be catching that. It's gonna be lit. Bo, right. Everyone has at least 2 accounts that need updating. That's what I've been doing. That was Alanis's best album. Yes, it was. It was her hottest album. Yeah, but piggybacking off of what I was saying about the Marvel stuff, Alex, everybody wants to have one of those jobs because I think they're the pinnacle of work, not so much of acting, but work. I think people who play the minor roles have it easier, you know what I mean, than the people who play, like, Chris Hemsworth is Thor. He's still connected. But what has he done other than, Thor, that we're like, yeah, we can't wait to see a new Chris Hemsworth movie. You know what I'm saying? I think that's tough. Some of the others, because they already had a lot of stuff going on, like Zoe Saldana, she's more known for just her work overall rather than, Gamora, Uncharted. What is Uncharted, Gerald? My Skype name is Dazelle Yvette. Okay, good. Is that your Skype name, Gerald? I guess that's your Skype name. Also uses quarantine. Yeah, but that's a great idea. Like, I think some people have, when you go to their Twitter, it says 2017 is the last post. That's like 3 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, I still, from time to time, I make sure I post on Twitter just to let people know that I'm there. Sometimes I'm tagged and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't even know about this. I think a lot of times we don't know about our own press. Like, I had just posted something about Stephanie Charles on the BTAW website and on my page, where she's in the picture and everything. And I don't even know if she knew about it. I was like, wow. I saw it was on the front page of BET talking about the new show that she's in, which I'm looking forward to seeing. I heard they go in. Listen, find a way to work out at home. Don't let yourself slip. We got to stay fine. Yeah, no doubt. I got my bands. Some of the guys on Instagram have been issuing push-up challenges. I haven't been on Instagram yet, so I don't know if I was challenged yet or not. But yeah, that's very interesting. Like, y'all, don't be eating all your quarantine goodies up and getting fat. You gotta make sure you keep your workouts up. You ain't got nothing better to do anyway, so make sure y'all get y'all work. I'm gonna get mine in tomorrow morning before I do my Skype session with all my actors. So I'll be sending you guys all the Skype info through email. So make sure you get the email. If you don't get the email by 8 o'clock tonight, let me know, because that means it probably went someplace else. I started my podcast again with this lockdown. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah. And invite me. I'd love to see what you got going on. Did you already post about getting into the Skype session tomorrow? I got dibs. Yeah, I was just telling you I'm going to send you the email, and so we can get it going tomorrow. Right. I need my spot on the Skype. Yes, indeed. I have been doing challenges on my IG. Yeah, Bo, I've been seeing that, man. As Beachbody, makers of Insanity, are offering their programs for free. Interesting, Hebrew. That's dope. The CW recently stole one of your designs for Black Lightning. How often do network studios steal from other independent filmmakers? All the time. It happens more than what people realize. And because they own the IP, the promotion departments do it and know that nothing can be done about it. We got a lot of well, we didn't get a lot. We got some people who were really like not supportive of us, and they were just like, it's just a poster. Like, it's not like you guys did anything big. And it's like, an idea is you can bump into ideas, but when something is literally lifted, that's a hurtful feeling. There was a Batman, a home video about Batman fighting Robin, and there was some choreography that these guys who did the animation literally lifted from another guy's channel on YouTube. The whole fight routine, like a whole sequence, they lifted it and put it into the animation thing. I mean, beat for beat, it was insane. Movement to movement, they didn't change nothing. And the guy was told about it from some of his followers, the fans, and they were like, "Yo, did you know that Batman versus Robin, they stole your choreography?" And he sued, and I think he won. I don't know what the direct outcome of it was, because he had to take his off so that no one could, like, you don't have any more connection to it. But when it was going on, everybody was seeing it. I should have saved it so that way I could have it, because I didn't know that that's what they want to request him to do, is to pull it. So they probably paid him a good chunk of money to, like, own the rights to the choreography since they lifted it. I was like, what the hell? So it happens a lot more than what people realize. Ideas are stolen all the time, even if there are NDAs and non-circumvention agreements and stuff. People still, and they take, and that's why you have to be confident in yourself and know that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens. I'm gonna keep going. Like when I was in music, people would steal songs from me. Like ideas and songs would end up on the radio. One of my rhythm tracks was on Tonight Show. Same rhythm track from a song that I had wrote that had some chart action. And my mom's like, "That's your song," and I'm like, "Yeah." And I mean, what can you do unless you have an attorney? And attorneys are made for people that got money. Honestly, I mean, so you can't get caught up in this thing of like, oh, if someone steals my idea, I'm done. No, it's like, you can create some more. If you create it once, you can create over and over and over again. It's like I tell actors, if you book one job and you ain't booked nothing in a while, just keep going. You'll keep booking. You know, the Tom Holland movie. Yeah, yeah. That's the name of it. Yeah. I'm so glad Momentum asked that. How do you avoid your shit getting stolen? I just addressed that. Like, and the number one thing is keep your idea to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, ideas are plucked from the atmosphere. I learned that the hard way because but you have to learn to act on stuff quick. Like, and that's part of the problem. Everybody wanted to have a studio involved idea. It was like, nah, James and I, we decided we were going to do Black Lightning, Tobias' Revenge. We got on it 2 years into production. CW went into production, and we knew, we were like, yo, wow, like everybody's gonna think that we got the idea from them. So that's why we put part one out first, to let everybody know we had already thought about this. We were already working on it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't wait on it. You know what I'm saying? So still people come and say, oh, you guys did it after them. And it's like, nah, the one that we released was 2 years later. On the one that's dated on YouTube is 2 years old. It's like we put it up in 2018, but really we had conceived it in 2016. You know what I'm saying? Um, just keep going. Yep. I'm late on the ship, but I just watched Black Light and Tobias' Revenge. It was a total odd choice. You are seriously a force to be reckoned with. I'm just glad to know such a brilliant mind. Awesome. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Hey, yo, shooting you was like shooting Giselle. It was a blessing, to shoot women who are beautiful and melanated and, to that level of model. It's like, it was great. And both of you encapsulate blackness when it comes to women. So shooting you was awesome, and it was easy, and it was fun, and it was great. And I look forward to our next session or whatever that's going to be down the road. I'm always honored when anyone asks to shoot me, but to be back on Black Lightning, yeah, I mean, it shows you what the power of people can do when they get together and believe in themselves. You breaking through actors are all in that. That's all breaking through actors. It's like maybe 3 people who aren't. They got their own wardrobe. They knew their lines. They showed up for fight rehearsal, and some of them never threw a punch at somebody before, and we did it. We did it, and that's something that if I doubt or if I feel bad about my career or something, I always go back to that. I'll watch some of that. I'm like, man, we were, like we were doing it, man. It's like, damn, And so that's what you have to remind yourself of when you go through your dark days and your dark moments, Have you thought about developing your own superhero film series? No, I have no desire. I'm more on the dramatic and comedic and romantic element now for the next 2 years. If James and I always say, if someone comes up with a budget, like we will definitely dive headfirst into it, because it takes a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work to do it at the level that you want it to be done. Because I don't do anything at a cheap level. I don't do anything at oh, that's okay. They'll accept it. You only got one shot. People judge you by your prior work. And anything that I've done, I look back at it, I'm like, man, that always had potential and it was great. And, I was learning, like I'm still learning now. Like there's things that I'm still learning, but I'm a beast at what I know now than what I knew back then. And there are things that that if we had now, like the things that we have now, the equipment, the lighting, the cameras, all that stuff, if we had that back at Black Lightning, Tobias' Revenge, oh man, we would have murdered them. So people look at that and they go, man, that was dope. It's like, that ain't nothing. Like, you guys got to see what James in Black has coming out. Like the stuff that he's about to do. He's been in production, pre-production for his project for the last year. and storyboarding, and he knows what he wants, man. He's an anomaly. It's just like I gotta just follow him, you know what I'm saying? Which I have no problem doing that. You know, he's always like, "Oh, I want to get your ideas." And I'm like, "No, your ideas. Just tell me what you want." He's a beast with it. Uh, I just tried to double tap momentum. Any news? We're right where you need to be. Yeah, you know, we had the screening that was planned, and of course they postponed it because of the coronavirus. Um, unfortunately, so we're all on standby. I mean, they postponed it. They didn't cancel it, so they said it's going to be another time. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, Dizelle. But as of right now, I mean, I feel bad for people who were in Tribeca and all that stuff, man. Can you imagine? Dream of a lifetime, and it's just canceled. You know, some festivals are not going to be for the rest of this year. Like that's it, done, because of the seasons that they have to have them in. You know, so other than that festival, we're still waiting to hear from other festivals, but everything is on standstill right now. And it's such an amazing film. I know that Amber has a lot of plans with it, so it ain't over yet. So we just have to keep going. I'm looking forward to Keep the Faith. Me too. It's 5 years in the making. I split the film up into two parts, and so I can guarantee you by the end of this quarantine, first film will be done, and more than likely it'll go on Amazon and or Netflix. I might do some public screenings of it. We'll see. Um, but I'm finishing up on this first film, and it looks great. So I got to do another sound pass and color pass, and then that'll be it. And then I will get to part two at the end of this year when I'm finishing up with everything else that I got going on. Yikes! Yeah, I know, Dizelle. Yikes! Yikes! Yikes is true. Yikes is very true. Let's see where everybody else at. What's going on here? We got people coming on and going off. 9 likes. Thank you for that. Any other questions about acting? Any other questions about acting? Come on, guys. Let's go. Let's keep conversing. Let's not get bored. I'm wondering how everybody else got some other stuff going on. Unless their hands are occupied and they're doing something they shouldn't be doing. That could be it. What is going on with you? That's a good question. I'm good. Like, I'm doing this. This is like all new to me. It's exciting. I'm probably going to cut it in 30 minutes. So you guys have 30 minutes left to engage with me before we do what we're going to do tomorrow. I do want to get something else to eat. I just don't want to leave the house to do it. So I don't know. Debating. I might just cover up completely and be brave enough and get out there and do it. Henry's Courage is on hold, obviously. All my projects are on hold right now. But Alex Miller is going to be turning it into a feature because we have some interest from an investor that reached out to me and said, listen, can you guys make a feature of this? And we had already considered it. So I have to do the outline, which I'll be doing tonight, and get to Alex so Alex can do what he has to do with it. Alex writes so fast, so and we'll have a feature of it. And depending on how long this quarantine lasts, we might just be going right into a feature if we can get all that money. So, a lot of people are going to have to, the economy is going to bounce back really quick because once people get money, they spend it. You know what I mean? And people are going to be stir crazy and have cabin fever and want to get out and do stuff. Like, it's going to be insane, the stuff that people are going to do. I have a strong feeling it's going to be an amazing summer. Um, so Henry's Courage, yeah, that the script is finally completed. We got the last notes from the historian, so we're happy about that. And scripts have been sent out. We were going to go into, like, we shot like right before quarantine. We shot the first footage of Alex and Chantel's web series, and the footage was amazing. It looked really, really good. And then quarantine. This Sunday we had planned. Kendra and I had planned something with Brandon Michael Thomas. It's a really good piece that I'm not going to talk about, but when you guys see it, you're going to be blown away. That was also in turn and in part of like a makeup for Kendra, because Kendra, she was nursing her sons when we did class where we had all of the cop stuff. So I was just like, man, I really want to show some love to Kendra and bless her. And then I wanted to work with Brandon. So I was like, look, let's write this, Brandon, and let's give it to Kendra and put something together. So we want to do that this Sunday, but that's been canceled and postponed. So we'll see what happens. And then A New Life is a feature film that I'm working on that more than likely will get made. I've had this strong feeling about getting it made. It's a romantic comedy drama that Chris Rouse is leading, and a lot of the breaking through actors are a part of. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. And staying healthy, staying out of the craziness. I just tried to, okay, what's going on with any books? You know what? I because I'm always reading scripts, people ask me all the time, like the book that I just read was for like the Harlem Hellfighters. I had to read that for more information and knowing about the film that I'm working on with Henry's Courage. But people ask me book advice for acting and stuff. I don't really recommend any. I would say if you're into writing, Save the Cat. There's another book out about Save the Cat if there's something you need to learn about screenwriting. But otherwise, I don't really have time. I'm always reading scripts when I work with actors. And now that we have this quarantine, if anything, I'm going to finish Keep the Faith and get on the script, the feature length for A New Life. So, yeah, I don't really have any other books. The Bible, I read that to remind me. You thought about any books? Your suggestion for actors, yeah. So I just answered that. Farley's cracking up. Janessa's cracking up. Henry's Courage. Maybe they're busy praying. That's true. He or something else. You actors better be careful out there, man. I'm telling you, is Henry's Courage going to be on Amazon or Netflix? Good question. If it's the short, we're still figuring out what our platform is going to be. Feature, if it's a feature, it's going to theaters. From what I was talking about with the investor. Okay, feature, right? Congrats on the movie. Thank you, Demetrius. Congrats to you. I know you doing stuff. I'm watching you, seeing you getting stuff going on. Congrats to you on that. Congrats to over 300,000 views on Black Lightning Tobias's Revenge. Still going, man. Probably going to be more after this quarantine. We're getting like 1,000 every 3 weeks, something like that. I don't know. It's crazy. 10,000, something like that. I don't know. If anybody owns a car in LA, you should start doing Postmates, DoorDash, and Instacart since a lot of people aren't out. That's true, but I think they're going to do a 24-hour lockdown in all workforce, and they just did that in New York. So LA tends to follow what New York's has happening. So I wouldn't put too much faith into that. Great recommendation, because that bank account looking sad. When this quarantine is over, I'm going to get things in motion to shoot that first major scene in my film. So be ready, Choice. Had to grab something to eat real quick. Yeah, man. Yeah, James, yo, you are a phenom. You are a beast amongst men, King. Yo, it's ridiculous. Like I'm telling you, yo, I gotta be on my, I gotta be on my stuff, man. I gotta be on it. Party, yes, Jaleesa. Anyone else spending way too much on recording? Echo Cash shaking my head. Farley, get a camera if you can. Get a camera and set up in your room, bruh, if you can. You know, and that man, that stuff is tough, man. That's why I want to have a spot to where the actors can do it. You know what I mean? Yay, a new life. Yes, Janessa. Farley, how is it? It's that bad. Count them blessings too. Um, no Rona babies. Yeah, right, Giselle. You damn right. Amazon Prime has my newest film, this thing called Hip Hop. The film is cool, fun as fuck. Support your girl. That's right. And we write our own raps. Before this quarantine's over, Jaleesa, I'm gonna be watching that. It better be good. Cause you know me, it better be good. By the way, Mom asked, when is your book coming? Good question. Um, I don't know, man. I mean, I have fits and moments of like inspiration. Well, I'm gonna write the book. I'm gonna write the book. And there's companies that actually help you do it. So I don't know. Between everything that's got going on, my priorities right now, between Henry Courage and A New Life over this quarantine, um, getting this footage to the actors today that from Friday night, they got some little clips that'd be cool for them to put up because they really had a great class. But I don't know. We'll see, James. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, Joe. I don't know. I want to, I'm not thinking about anything that's going to ask people for money right now because, like, somebody was like, you should set up your site so people can donate to you. I'm like, who got money? Like, nobody got money. Like, Henry's Courage campaign is dead in the water. It's not happening. Like, where are people going to get money from? Like, I'm a little offended that people are asking people still, to patronize their business. Like, we should all just say, fuck it, let's just all be free to each other. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had actors that paid for the month. They're not getting their full month. So how can I help? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not thinking about getting paid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Other than food, like, what do I got to be concerned with? If they're not kicking me out anytime soon, my electricity's on, I'm good. Like, I don't know. So writing a book and asking for people to buy something, and this year I don't see it happening. Yeah, movies absolutely, but I don't know. We'll see. Uh, and Jersey, yeah, Jersey, yeah, full lockdown, Bo. Yeah, is that where you're at, Bo? You're at Jersey? I think you are, right? Working on it. Yeah, Father, I got you. Actors Access has suspended payments. See, our government just signed executive order shutting stuff down. It's not good. It's long, but it was fun and Purple Rain inspired. Ooh, what was? Apologies in advance. The music, though. Oh, okay, the movie. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, hey, I ain't gonna be too hard on it. If anything, I'll give it a like to support you, Jaleesa. Like, but you know me. Like, I'm telling you, the way you look and man, the way you look. Let me see if I can find a clip. I hope Jason don't kill me for this, but I'm gonna see if I can find a clip and let you see something, Jaleesa. Let you see. Let's see. All right. Uh, let's see here. All right. I'm going to show you something in a second, Jaleesa. Let me make sure I'm not missing. Okay. Okay. Andrew's working on it. Government. Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir. 15 minutes from Philly. Wow. Thank you. Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. The camera be making love to Jaleesa. Yes, it does. I don't know what she be doing to us. So I'm looking up because I have a monitor where, like the color corrected version is here, and then here is my timeline. So when I go to Premiere, if you could see like how my system is, I'll show you in a second. What was the Jaleesa? Yeah. Let's see. I'm pulling this up because I have to make sure this footage looks right. So you guys want to see, this is Lisa Holly. This is from last Friday. Look at that black and white shot of her. Boy, is she powerful, man. I'm gonna post that later today. Let's see. My camera. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can find some footage of you, Jaleesa, and make it dope. Let's see. I think this is a clip here. That's Jason. This show came out really good, man. It came out really, really good. All right. Yeah. I don't like this clip. I'm looking for a perfect clip, Jaleesa, so I can blow your mind. Blow your mind. Okay, let me see. Nope, that's not it. That's not the one either. I think this is it. Okay, yeah, this is the one that I like. Okay, yeah, so let me put this in here. Then I'm going to flip that camera around, let you see it. That's why you gotta live, girl. You gotta live. You gotta live. That's funny. I was actually going to make this a shot, but I didn't. I should have did it. So good. Like the flowers and everything in this thing. Yeah, one of the beauties of creating, and I could tell you guys this all the time, whether you're acting or you're working on, footage or stuff like that. One of the beauties of creating is having the opportunity to know that you're going to evoke something in people. You know what I mean? Like just knowing that you're going to make something that's really dope, that people are going to enjoy, you know? That's really what I love mostly about filmmaking. This here, oh, look at that. That looks so glorious. All right, let me see if you can see this. Tell me if you can see this, Jaleesa. Can you see that? I don't know. Let me see. Let me get a Oh, I got that blur. I got a light. Let me see if I can bring this down. Yeah. I don't have permission to send you a screen cap, but if you saw it, you would be like, oh my God, this is so cool. This looks so good. Yeah. I had to turn off a light to do it. But you can get an idea. You can get the gist of it. And my cam doesn't come back as far. But it's so cool. I was just like, yo, like, man, I shot the hell out of it. I lit the hell out of Jaleesa. What's up, Dylan?
What's going on,
man?
I was calling to check on you.
Oh yeah, we're streaming, baby. Where you at? I know you was there. You was there earlier. We lost you.
Oh, y'all still? I didn't even. I just dropped it. Is it on? Not on YouTube anymore?
Nah, yeah, we're still on there for the next. All right, we got 20 more minutes, guys. 20 more minutes. I'm gonna give y'all 20 more minutes, and then I gotta go. All right.
All right. I'll hang up and jump in.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, the camera be making love. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Jaleesa. Yeah. Can you tell us a funny story of one of your classes or TV films you've worked on? Yeah. I'll make that one of the last things. Man, that looks amazing. Just like that. Can't wait. Yep. It does, James. Like it's not even colored yet. Can you imagine when Jeremiah put the sparklies on it? Thank you for doing this. It's my only adult interaction for the last 3 days. These kids, they fired me as a homeschool teacher. It's all good. Tomorrow we'll probably be on for a couple hours tomorrow on Skype. Do you use Apple or Windows to produce your films? Windows. And Alex, we'll talk later on why I use Windows. You're such a cutie. Yes, she is. Jaleesa, I hope you saw a little bit of that and it makes your day. Can you tell a funny story of one of your classes or TV films you've worked on? Well, I can't really talk too much about the class because what happens in class stays in class, and there's a lot of funny stuff that happens in class all the time. I don't know. I got so many stories, Alex, that I tell my actors from time to time because life is random and it just happens. Stuff be happening. But let me see. A funny story. Wow. From one of... Oh, yes. I got a great story. I was just thinking about this the other day. So I did a movie. Let me see if I can look it up and everything so I can give you all the right information for it. IMDb. Okay. I did a movie where I was like a stunt coordinator. I got called in for this gig. Patrick. I'll tell you in a second, Warburton. Okay, the name of the film and the name of the people who was a part of it, right? Because I can divulge this. It wasn't anything bad, but it's funny. And if you ever get to watch this movie, it's hilarious in some regard. I mean, they did it for like hardly any money. Where the hell is this movie? Yeah, he was in this. And I got called in to be like Rock Slide. It's called Rock Slide. And it's kind of like an updated neo noir type of film. And basically, I get to the set and they're like, okay, listen, we have to, there's a gag. We have this gag where Andy Dick's character, yeah, I got to work with Andy Dick. Andy Dick's character, he wants to kill Patrick Warburton's character. So he runs at him over the table to snatch at him, and he slides across the table and out the window, right? And I was like, okay. And it was like, so are you able to do that? Like how can we get that stunt going? And I said, well, I said, just send one of the PAs to get like 3 bottles of Crisco oil. And they looked at me, they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, send one of the PAs, go get me like the liquid kind, not the in the can, like the liquid. And they were like, we would think it's silicone. I was like, nah, that's not going to work, and that's not good for his skin, you know. And so they went to go get it, and Andy Dick came to the set, right? And if you ever knew anything about Andy Dick, he has no filter. He doesn't give a damn. And he comes in, and he goes, okay, so how's this stunt going to go? And apparently they got his son to do the stunt, right? Because it wasn't a real window. It was on a studio stage, sound stage. It was in Hollywood. And they basically, they were explaining to him, well, Andy, you know, Choice is the stunt coordinator. He says it's safe. We got to have some crash pads outside the window. But basically, we're going to have him come, run, and then he's just going to slide across the table and out the window, right? And mind you, everybody was skeptical that it was going to work, right? And I was like, I know this is going to work, right? So Andy goes, well, let me see the oil, right? And so they bring him the oil, they put some on his hand. He goes, because I want to make sure that it's not affecting my son's skin. And I said, oh, no, it's good. It's it's just the vegetable oil. He's like, And he goes, Crisco, huh? He goes, is it used for other things? And I'm like, I don't know. And so we prep the table. His son comes out. You know, we do some test runs. He doesn't slide. And they go, all right. They were like, we're ready to do about 4 of these, right? And I'm like, you're only going to need one. And the take that happened is the take that they use. He stepped back. We counted 3, 2, 1. He said, tuk, 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 and straight across that table. It made the sound that you hear in post is the same sound that it made. He went right out that window to where the guys that was holding the crash pads was like, whoa! And that, to me, I think we laughed for an hour after that because it was the funniest sight that we had ever saw. And dealing with Andy Dick, and he was like, oh, that really went, he went through that really, ooh, it went. That was one of the funniest moments to me on that set, man. That stunt happening. So I don't know if it was funny to you. I still remember it to this day. If you ever get to see the movie, it's called Rock Slide. It stars Andy Dick, Patrick Warburton. He's the lead in it. And that scene of him just going out the window, if you want it, I might be able to get it and just send it to you if you want to see it. So that answers that. But that, dealing with Andy Dick, if you've ever dealt with Andy Dick, is an experience in itself. It's pure comedy. The way that, okay, all right, TMI. But anyway, that's the joke, Alex, on that one. Okay, so we got people logging off, which tells me that coming to the second hour, it's time. I'm so glad we had this time together. Yeah. You're such a cute. Okay. All right. Delon is like, what? Oh, snap. He's on. Okay. All right, guys. Anything else, everybody? That was hilarious. Would love to see that. I'll send it to you. I think I just found the movie the other day, and I could just send the clip to you because the clip in itself is pure comedy. Yeah, but that was the ingenious mind of being a young black kid and knowing like how Crisco oil can bust your ass other than just popping you from the frying pan. You know, that's Andy Dick is nuts. Yeah, Farley, I agree with you 100%. Like, it was funny. He was like, choice, huh? Is that the right choice? I was like, yeah, thank you. Do you have a lot of choices, Choice? I was like, oh God, okay, it's one of these. We're gonna go through this now, okay? Yeah, it was an experience. It was definitely an experience. All right. Bo, yeah, Bo, it was definitely a laughing experience, man. I ain't lying. But I'm gonna tell you that stunt, man, it was one of the best stunts that I ever set up. That happened, no problem. I'd like the clip as well. I'll get it to you. What happens in class stays in class. You damn right. It does. It does. It does. All right, guys. So listen, don't let this COI VD or whatever it is, the COVID or this disease -9. I don't even like saying coronavirus. It sounds stupid to me. But I don't want to end this on a dark note. I don't want to end this on a bad note. I just want to say to all of you guys, like, just be encouraged. Stay encouraged. Trust in God. Know God if you don't know God, because He's in control of all things, good and bad. And just, know that as artists, we are the light of the world. And it is our job to take care of ourselves so that way we can be there to entertain people through the darkness that is happening and will probably likely come our way until it's all over. Yeah, Grease Lightning. Yeah, Farley. That's funny. Grease Lightning. I'll be sending that clip out today, guys. So yeah, and probably right after I hang up on this. So last words. Tomorrow, BTAW guys, up to 50 people. Skype, 1 p.m. Okay, and there's not much that I have to do on that, so I won't be screwing up like I did with the stream on YouTube. But now I know how to do it. So, sometimes it takes a little bit of drama to figure it all out, but I figured it all out. YouTube, y'all need to stop making things hard for people. Make it a lot easier. Amen. We are good phrase, Bo. We are healers through storytelling. Wow. I'm gonna end it on that because it don't get any better than that. Thank you everybody for tuning in on today's stream. I will probably do another one in a couple of days. I would like topics. Maybe you can send me questions and stuff, because I know this is all relatively new, and I don't know how long this thing's gonna last. So I'll probably be doing something like this all the way up to the point where it's over, so we can get back into the stream of things. All right. Improv games, Delon. No, we just gonna see each other, man. Show up in your best outfit. I will be doing this again, Alex, definitely. And you're welcome, Giselle, and you're welcome, Kendra, and anybody else out there. I love you guys. God bless you. I wish you heaven. I wish you joy, and I wish you love. God bless you all. All right. Bye.